In this part, we are going to see Jinnah's two-nation theory, the August Offer, and the Crips Mission. Let's see Jinnah's two-nation theory. The two-nation idea had been first brought up by some young Muslims at the time of Round Table Conference. Sir Muhammad Iqbal also made a similar demand when he called for a loose federation of Pakistan with the rest of India. In January 1940, Jinnah had declared that the Hindus and Muslims formed two separate nations and both must share the governance of their common motherland. In the Lahore session of the Muslim League in March 1940, Jinnah introduced a resolution to create a separate Muslim nation. According to the Muslim League, all Muslim majority parts like the northwestern and eastern zones of India should be grouped to constitute independent states. This Lahore resolution, which came to be known as the Pakistan Resolution, was supported by Bengali Muslim leaders Fazlul Haq and Sikandar. Now let's see the August Offer. On 8th August 1940, Viceroy Linlithgow made a statement on behalf of the British government. The Prime Minister of Britain during that time was Winston Churchill. The offer was for a dominion status. It was the first time that the British government explicitly promised dominion status to India. The offer also recognized the right of Indian people to frame their own constitution. So how was the response to this from the Congress? Well, the Congress rejected the offer of dominion status because they felt the country was now ready for complete freedom. Nehru declared that the concept of dominion status was dead as a doornail. Now the Allied forces were in dire need of India's cooperation during the war. So the President of the US, Roosevelt, President of China, Chiang Kai-shek, and Labour Party's leaders of Britain pressurized Churchill to declare the war aims in India. Moreover, Japan had attacked the Pearl Harbor in 1941 and invaded Burma. They were getting closer to India. So the British cabinet was forced to declare the war aims in order to get India's support. So Churchill announced on March 11, 1942 that the British cabinet was sending a mission to India under Sir Stanford Cripps. Let's see the Crips Mission. Cripps made a draft declaration about war aims. It stated that for the present, British government would have full control over India's defense. There were three other things in it. One, it repeated the same offer of dominion status. Second, it stated that the Constituent Assembly would have nominees of the rulers of princely states. And third, on the question of Pakistan, it stated that any province not willing to accept the new constitution would be allowed to have a separate arrangement with the British government. The Congress objected to these provisions. First objection was over the dominion status instead of complete independence. The second objection was over the nomination of representatives by the rulers of princely states. Congress demanded elected representatives from these princely states. The third objection was of course to the partition. The Congress also demanded for shared responsibilities over India's defenses. Crips Mission and the Congress leaders could not have an agreement and the offer was finally rejected by the Congress. After rejecting the Cripps offer, the Congress thought that it was necessary to give a fitting reply to the British government. They did so by passing the Quit India resolution. In the next video, we shall see the Quit India movement.